Seafood restaurant. Under the scorching sun and the rustling sea breeze, you and Marius manage to rush to a restaurant before they finish their lunch service hours. As soon as you enter, you see various kinds of live sea produce stored in large temperature-controlled fish tanks. Many diners are already seated further inside the room. So this is the seafood restaurant you said we absolutely had to try out? Yeah, thankfully we made it. We're right on time as planned. Here, take a look. What do you want to eat? The waiter walks up to you with a pen and paper in hand, ready to take your order. You look at the saltwater fish swimming inside the tank and the crabs waving their claws around, but you can't decide. Marius bends down and softly taps his knuckles against the glass in front of you, then looks at you with great interest. Should we get a couple pounds of shrimp, Shara, or how about a whole grouper? Looking in the direction he's pointing in, you see the price tag on the tank. You start to hesitate as you stare at the numbers. Isn't this a bit too much for our budget? Should we just get something simple like clams, maybe? It's not like we come here every day, so we have to treat ourselves to some good food. But the price. Don't worry, I've got it all calculated. We won't go over our allotted budget. Marius winks at you, looking as confident as he did that night a few weeks ago. Marius' bedroom. You are snuggled into Marius' arms and watching a film with him. The film's plot is action-packed and the story is full of twists and turns. Just as you reach an important part, an untimely vibration interrupts you. Marius frowns and looks at his phone. He seems upset that his personal time has been disrupted. You're getting messages this late at night? I wonder if it's urgent. No idea. Let's take a look. He reluctantly lets go of your wrist and pauses the film, then reaches out for his phone. What's wrong? You can't help but grow curious about the contents of the message when you see the shock that flickers across Marius' eyes. When he hears your question, he reaches out and wraps his arms around you again. He rests his head in the crook of your neck, making his voice sound muffled. I've got a problem of sorts. Huh? What is the problem? He leans against you and nuzzles closer, making himself sound pitiable. It's not about bags, it's cool. I took a social science class this semester and thought that it would be a piece of cake. But the teacher just sent a message saying that we need to do an outdoor practical assignment. A practical assignment? Yeah, the teacher asked us to plan a 3D trip with a set budget that includes all expenditures during those few days. And we're forbidden from using our savings and money gifted from others. If we go over the budget, we need to stop the assignment immediately. So we've got a tiny budget, which is bad enough, but the teacher also asked us to write a report about the entire process in as much detail as possible. Don't you think that's a big problem, miss? Marius looks up as he finishes talking, and you see his mischievous grin being openly illuminated by the moonlight. Only then do you realize that you panic a little out of concern and fail to notice the cunning behind his words. Oh, so it's just an assignment for school. I was worried for nothing. It's not for nothing. I know you care about me more than anyone. He knows exactly what you're thinking, so you can only nod and admit to it. Mara's smile deepens as he stares at you for a few seconds longer. I have an idea. Do you want to use this chance to take an all-expense speed trip together? You want me to help you with your assignment? Aren't you afraid of us blowing your budget? According to the rules you just outlined, I can't pay for myself. In fact, I can't even calculate my spending separately from yours. Well, I know. I'll look through all the domestic travel destinations that are popular but affordable, then choose the best one for two. It would be great if we could find somewhere that fits our requirements. I'll have to dig up some less popular bargain destinations if we really can't find anything. This country is a big place. I'm sure we'll find an affordable place to have fun as long as I put in enough effort to look for it. Yeah, you're right. Besides, this assignment is obviously testing our capacity to design a budget travel plan. If I write that this money was enough for two people in my report, then I'll definitely get a high grade. Yeah, right, in your dreams. I mean, sure, getting good grades is pretty important, but you know my focus is on traveling and having fun with you. What will it be like to travel with Marius on a tight budget? Will we take an old-fashioned trip or stay in cheap youth hostels? And how many vacation days do I have left? Just as you immerse yourself in fantasies about the trip, you feel an extra weight on your arm. You tilt your head to see Marius putting his hands on your arm and slightly tugging, acting like a pitiful kitten. Shirara, don't you want to budget travel with me? I do. I'm just calculating how many vacation days I have left. I know you're a big backpacker once, but I've never seen you travel on a tight budget, so I wouldn't miss it for the world. I knew you'd say yes. Then, once you get your vacation days sorted, just leave everything to me. I'll have it all planned and ready. His confident promise echoes with resounding determination, and you feel like his plan will be foolproof, so you nod your head. Sure, let's go with your plan. You sit down after you've made the order, and the waiter soon serves the seafood dish. The delectable aroma of the food rushes into your nostrils. The umami scent unique to the seafood permeates the air, making you even hungrier. You take a bite of the fish and are instantly shocked by how tender and fresh the meat is. It's so good! Of course it is. I'm the one who picked it. Besides, we didn't spend that much money on these dishes. As Marius says this, he gestures a number at you which is far lower than what you imagine it to be. No way, that's way cheaper than the price tag I saw. How did you manage this? I noticed that this restaurant was running a promotion on its official website, so I had been sent check it on their website for 10 days in a row and got a food coupon. Good work, Vincent. No wonder you said it wouldn't push us over our budget. You've planned this all out. Of course, this is a budget trip, so we need to carefully plan out every expense. Let's eat first. Here, try this shrimp. By the beach. You and Marius leave the restaurant after the meal and move along the walkway toward the beach. The ocean, spreading so close to you, is glittering with bright lights. Soft cotton-like clouds drift along in the pristine blue sky. Marius picked out this rather unknown beach. It's not popular but has a very comfortable and leisurely atmosphere, making it ideal for relaxation. You take Marius' arm and walk in sync with these steps. What should we do now? Easy, just one thing. Have fun. I want to take you for a water gun game, then go on a speedboat, and after dinner, we'll go to an indoor water park and have even more fun. Marius draws up a plan for you. It's a piece of paper densely filled with an itinerary and a list of things to pay attention to. That sounds like a pretty packed schedule. Looks like this 3D trip will be much more fun than I thought. Come on, I'm the one who planned it. I would never let you down. Now we're gonna see whose marksmanship is better. Sure, I'm just letting you know that I won't go easy on you with a squirt gun. No problem. We'll have a fair fight. Skills first, feeling second. Should we go buy two water guns then? Sure. Marius takes your hand and heads excitedly to the shop that sells seaside gadgets. However, you soon see a little girl running straight towards you. Mister, my name is Annie. Can you please help me? Huh? The girl named Annie looks to be on the verge of tears as she looks up at you helplessly. She is hugging a seagull in her arms. What happened? Did you get separated from your parents? Annie shakes her head and lifts the seagull. That's when you notice the bright red blood staining the base of the bird's wing. This seagull is hurt, but I don't know what to do. Can you help it? I feel so bad for it. Um, you turn and look at Marius, who nods at you. You two instantly reach a silent agreement. You decide to put aside your travel plans and help Annie deal with the seagull's wounds. Veterinary clinic. You reach a vet clinic qualified to treat birds, and a young vet greets you. How can I help you today? Doc, this seagull. The seagull's really hurt. Annie picks up before Marius can finish, then carefully passes the seagull in her arms to the vet. The vet takes a quick look at the seagull's general situation, then softly flicks the seagull's wing. The wound needs to be treated quickly, otherwise it might get infected. However, what's wrong, doctor? This species of seagull is protected. Ideally, we should contact the Animal Protection Services to take it away. However, given its current predicament, it might be too late by the time they get here. I can treat it in the clinic for now, but you will need to pay for the relevant service fee. The vet sounds a bit troubled. You understand what he is trying to say. A clinic is different from an animal protection service. He's here to earn a profit, not to run a charity. How much are we looking at? We have to use special medication for this species of seagull. Even if I push everything to the lowest possible cost, it will be somewhere around this range. The vet puts the seagull on the observation table to the side, then grabs a pen and paper to write out a list of medications and numbers. Take a look at this and give it some thought. I'm going to contact the Animal Protection Service now. You take the paper and see that the numbers on it come very close to using up the rest of your budget. If you decide to save the seagull first, it means your journey will end here. Meanwhile, Annie is wringing her hands and looking at you helplessly. Even though the seagull will also be safe if we wait for animal protection to arrive, treating it early will definitely increase the bird's chances. The vet also said that things might get worse if we keep delaying treatment. You look at Marius to find that he is looking at you too. What do you think, Sharara? I want the vet to treat the seagull first, but Marius takes your hand and shakes it in his before you can finish. Awesome, I was thinking the same thing. If we don't help it now and wait for a few hours instead, it might never be able to fly again. How sad would that be? Even if we spend all our money and have to go back early? Marius' expression is unusually relaxed when faced with your question. That's fine. I'm happy for that to be the reason why I can't complete my assignment. I wish we could just spend my money, but all expenses during the trip have to be included in the budget. I'll leave it the decision up to him. You look at Marius, he is frowning and deep in thought, but his brows relax when he notices you looking at him. Have you made up your mind? Let's do what you decide to do with it. It's your money, so it should be your decision. Even if it means we have to go back immediately? You understand what Marius means when he says this, and yet, even though you're aware the trip may be over in the next minute, you still feel quite content. I don't mind at all. The vet has returned to the room as well. He takes some food and water, placing them next to the seagull to help it replenish its strength. You inform him of your decision to save the seagull. I understand. I'll start preparing for the checkup and treatment immediately. The animal protection folks will be here in about 2 hours. Thank you, doctor. The vet nods quickly and leaves. Annie drags you to the right side of the room, eager to tell you what she realized. It turns out that one side of the room is entirely made out of transparent glass, and you can clearly see the situation in the room next door. I didn't know that there was a place designed for people to watch operations here. When you see the vet appear behind the glass again in the other room, he has already changed into an operating gown and is wearing a mask. He then carefully places the seagull into an examination pod and activates a device. Whoa, that thing is moving! Miss, is the doctor giving the seagull a checkup? Annie raises her head and tilts it ever so slightly, looking at you and Marius in confusion. Yup, after the checkup, the doctor will be able to tell where the seagull got hurt. And once we know where it's hurt, we can figure out how to treat it. Don't worry, Annie. Annie nods thoughtfully, then presses herself against the glass and mutters to herself as she stares at the pod. Wow, thank you, Big Machine. The vet soon goes up to review the data and the monitor as the device finishes its scan. He then takes the seagull out of the pod and secures the bird on the operation table and on the other side of the room. After about half an hour, the seagull's wound is already clean and covered with medicated ointments. It also received an injection of specialized medication, and its wing is secured via clips by the vet. You know, this spread wings in being all buttoned up like that makes it look like when someone breaks a bone and has to have a cast applied. It probably needs lots of R&R, just like humans. After the wound is tended to, the vet also cleans the seagull and brushes its feathers. The seagull shakes itself and tilts its head. It moves its eyes to look at you, appearing much more spirited than before. Yay! The seagull is okay! Seeing that the seagull is recovering, Annie also looks delighted. She then runs to stand between you and Marius, grasping onto each of your hands and smiling sweetly at you. Thank you, mister. Thank you, miss. The seagull is okay now thanks to you. Don't mention it, we just help out a little. We are glad to be of help to the seagull as well. Alley near veterinary clinic. After you see Annie home and wrap up the seagull's treatment costs, you aren't left with much money. The sun is still radiant and the breeze is soft and gentle, but you and Marius are helplessly facing an early end to your travels. Things never go according to plan. We were getting ready to play with water guns, but now we're about to end our trip instead. Yeah, I was planning to watch a live aquatic performance with you, but now we don't even have enough money for the tickets. Well, at least we have enough to buy a bus ticket back home. That's still pretty lucky, right? Perhaps what you said made Mary think about something because he frowns for the next few minutes and doesn't say anything. What's wrong? You look so worried. Are you concerned about the return tickets? No, I was just thinking about how it's so rare for us to have such a special trip and that I'm not satisfied with having to go home like this. There must be some way to deal with the lack of funds. But didn't your teacher add loads of details and restrictions? I feel like every possible aspect was already considered. I know, but Marius doesn't finish and just looks at you, and you understand what he is trying to say. This is a very special trip for the two of you. He doesn't want it to end here. As you lock eyes with Marius, you feel your heart being moved as well. With that, you take his hand and swing it softly, as if encouraging him as well as yourself. Then, why don't we think about it together? The bus back isn't till tonight, so we still have time. Okay. The leaves rustle with the breeze as the both of you discuss various possibilities while walking along the streets. Well, I definitely can't use my money, and neither can you. Because using your money would be the same as using funds gifted from other people. Gifted. You mumble this word over and over. Then suddenly you realize that there's a loophole you can exploit. You look at Marius locking eyes with each other. So we can get money if it isn't gifted. You and Marius say this at the same time, then you burst into laughter together. Looks like we're on the same page. The teacher only said that we couldn't use money that was gifted to us, but he never mentioned anything about working for pay. Yep, so we should look for some part-time jobs around this beach that pay their staff at the end of the day. We're in luck then. I saw that an event called Fisherman for a Day is happening here when I look into the trip. Fisherman for a Day. Yeah, it's exactly what you're thinking. We help out the locals and get some pay in return. Apparently, it was developed from the lifestyle and habits of fishermen back in the day. I just never thought we'd actually find this information useful. I don't think you'd ever imagine that there'd be a day when you were short on cash either. I should have planned a few steps ahead and considered that unexpected things might happen. Never mind, what's done is done, and there's no use crying over spilled milk. Let's check out the Fisherman for a Day event first. Sure, I'm ready to work hard with you and make some money. By the beach. You soon find a location for the Fisherman for a Day event with relative ease. The person in charge of the venue is an elderly man sitting casually on an outdoor chair with a small blackboard propped up next to him. Afternoon, youngsters. Are you here to try your luck as well? Yeah, I heard there's a special event here where we can get paid for helping out, so we want to give it a shot. Well, you found the right spot. Take a look for yourself. Everything on this blackboard needs to get done. Take your pick, you can choose one each. And there's no limit to how many people can complete one task. You can do it together once you've made a choice. Okay, got it. Thank you. Several paper strips are placed on the blackboard. The tasks include catching crabs, digging for clams, building a sandcastle, drying sea produce, and more. Everything looks unique. You stare at the blackboard, hard pressed to make a choice. Can't decide. Yeah, they all look really fun. It's kinda hard to choose. What about you? Have you made it your decision? Yeah, but I want to hear your opinion, Shivara. Huh? Marius pauses, he looks at the ocean, then turns back to you. A slight smile plays at the corner of his lips, as if he's deliberately trying to be mysterious. I want to build a sandcastle. You wouldn't think that's too childish of me, right? No way, but why did you want to pick that? Because there's a saying, doing childish things with those you love is infinitely more romantic. Where is that saying from? I've never heard it before. It's a one Hagen saying unique to me. Wearing a broad expression, Maris pulls the paper that says buildings and castles off the blackboard. He waves it at you and smiles happily. You look at Marius, then back at the blackboard. And the thought images in your head. Why don't I pick this one? I'm sure it will be fun if we do it together. You take the paper that says dig clams, and you both give the paper to the older gentleman together. The older gentleman pushes up his reading glasses to read the words. Building a sand castle? Sure, the better the castle looks, the more pay you'll get. And this one, dig clams. Haha, this is a good one. You'll be judged based on the number and size of the clams. Just make sure you come back before sundown. He then explains the details to you, outlining the dedicated area for the sandcastles and the things you need to pay attention to when digging for clams. Once you are both clear on the rules, you head out. Marius looks over at you mischievously. Shara, did you choose that because you wanted to see me dig for clams? You can't help but smile when Marius manages to see through you. Yes and no. I want to see what you look like digging for clams. But like you said, I also want to see how romantic it would be for us to do something like that. Marius smiles suddenly and his gaze turns warm. Sure, I'd be happy to join you. We can enjoy a romantic time together. Should we build the sandcastle first? I remember the old gentleman mentioning that the best time to dig for clams is when the tide is going down. It's a bit too early for that right now. Sure. After you've borrowed the items to build the sandcastle, you and Marius arrive at the designated building area the old gentleman told you about. Both of you stay rooted to the spot for a while, stunned by the sandcastles of various sizes in front of you. They all look like veritable works of art. Are you seeing this? They're all so beautiful. We've got some stiff competition. I have no idea if our sandcastles will stand out enough to earn us enough money. Mary squeezes your hand reassuringly upon hearing your mumble. Come on, don't get discouraged. It's just a sandcastle. We can do it with our eyes closed. Your doubts dissipate when you see how confident Marius is. You're right, I shouldn't get discouraged before we've even started. So, what do you want me to do? You wanted to make a sandcastle, so you're the boss. Let me think. Marius' lips curved up in a smile as if he already had a blueprint for the sandcastles in his head. Okay, you can go find some materials to decorate the sandcastles with it. Soft light, dried flowers, seashells. I'll make a beach heap here with wet sand, and we'll figure out the details together once you're back. How does that sound? Okay, following Marius' instructions, you walk along the beach looking for things to decorate the sandcastle with. This seashell's really pretty. It will definitely look good with everything else. These small shells aren't half bad either. Guess I'll grab them all. You spend some time gathering a bunch of small and pretty decorations before starting to head back. On the way back, you see other couples building sandcastles and birds frolicking along the beach in the waves. Both humankind and nature are at peace. However, when you return to Marius, you find him still focused on building the sandcastle. The sunlight pierces through the gaps between the tree branches. Slanted sunbeams land on Marius, painting a soft circles of light on his skin. The sea breeze shifts Marius' hair from his forehead, but he doesn't notice, focusing on the movements of his hands. Along with the scent of the ocean, sand mixed with seawater covers his scalp, wraps around his wrists and stains his hands. The way the muscles in his arms tense and relax as he stretches and moves is enrapturing. In front of him, a small sandcastle takes form. Marius! Hearing his name being called, Marius raises his head to look in your direction. The moment his gaze meets yours, the corners of his eyes crinkle in a smile.
왔구나. 뭐 좀 찾았어요?
Lots, actually. Some shells, starfish, and even conches with beautiful patterns. Let me show you. You try to raise Marius, and he moves to the side to make way for you. You lay out the items you collected on the sand one by one.
괜찮네요. 다 쓸 수 있을 것 같아요.
Can we really use all of them? What do you want our sandcastle to look like? After hearing your question, the smile on Marius' face grows wider and his eyes seem to twinkle.
내 설명을 듣고 나면 알 거예요. 자, 이 부분은 로비고 여긴 휴게실. 그리고 여기 지붕이 없는 곳은 작은 정원으로 만들 생각이에요.
Are you making a small house?
딩동댕.
Marius pulls you closer, picks up a shell, and starts gesturing toward the sandcastle.
누나, 이건 어디에다 장식하는 게 좋을까요?
Where? That's a difficult decision.
고민할 거 없어요. 누나가 여기서 산다면 어떤 장식이 좋을지 생각해 보면 돼요.
Marius' tone is relaxed, but his gaze is so intense that it burns when it lands on you. What was once just an ordinary sandcastle now takes on an entirely different meaning. Marius stretches out his hand and draws an intricate pattern on the top of the sandcastle, then tilts his head in your direction as if waiting for your answer. If I lived there, then I would put a big fountain in the garden.
분수. 좋아요. 이 소라를 두면 되겠네요. 그리고요.
Then, for the interior details, I'm going to have to think it over with you. After all, if I lived there, you'd be there too. You don't know if your answer got full marks from Marius, but you can see a smile in his eyes.
좋아요. 그럼 같이 세세한 부분을 하나하나 채워봐요.
His words are warm and he takes advantage of the opportunity to hold your hand. Your fingers intertwine, rubbing the sand between your hands as you build a castle that belongs to the both of you. The sea breeze is a quiet constant, blowing on and on. It stirs up sparkling waves on the ocean surface, which are warmed by the gorgeous sunlight. By the beach. After about 3 hours of hard work, you and Marius finally complete your sandcastle. You quietly lean against him, looking at the small building in front of you in contentment. It's as if your thoughts are tinged with the sweetness of fresh honey. You've been quiet for a while. What's on your mind? Marius dips his head slightly to look at you, his hair tickling you as he does so. You brush his hair aside before responding. I was just thinking, but actually, making a sandcastle is much more romantic than I initially thought it would be. Following your gaze, Marius looks over at the sandcastle before turning back to you, his eyes burning with emotion. I wasn't thinking too much about that at first either. I was afraid we wouldn't be able to build a big sandcastle in such a short time. I thought we just have to make it look more complex. Instead, but as I piled on the sand, I started thinking about some really happy and fun things. And before I realized it, I changed my mind. What did you think about? Your question almost sounds like you are teasing him, but Maris answers very seriously. I was thinking about you, of course. I thought about your smile, the way you look, and the places we've been together. I couldn't help but think that one day in the future we'll have a home together, something that truly belongs to us. His voice is soft and gentle, and his words are as sweet as honey. Listening to him makes you forget where you are at this moment. Facing the tenderness in his gaze, you can't help but wrap your arms around his neck. You kiss him deeply as if you are the only two people in the world. After a while, you pull away, you let go of Paris' soft embrace only for him to drag you back in the very next second. Shara, is a kiss all I'm gonna get for my compassion? What else do you want? We could kiss for a little longer at the very least. Marius puts his arms around your waist, wanting this warm and tender moment to continue. His face slowly moves closer as the distance between you grows smaller and smaller, and the roaring of your heartbeat becomes increasingly louder. You are about to close your eyes and accept his intense warmth, only to suddenly feel a startling chill on your ankles. Marius also freezes in place. Huh? Looking down, you see that the water has surged up the beach and the sea breeze seems to have changed direction. This tide is beginning to ebb. The cold water shatters the moment, reminding you that there are still difficulties to face in reality. It seems like the universe hasn't fulfilled your wish. It wants us to make more money. Man proposes, but fate disposes. Come on, it's time to dig for clams. We can pick up where we left off next time. Okay, beach. Following the old gentleman's advice, you and Marius borrow a whole set of tools including rubber gloves, plastic buckets, and small spades from the seaside shop. You put on the gloves, pick up the bucket, and roll up your pant legs. You then start to scan the beach for your prey as the sea waves swell up and slowly recede. Marius, is that a clam breathing hole I see? Where? Over there! You point to a place nearby. Marius rushes up and forcefully thrusts his shovel into the sand where you indicated. Unfortunately, the only thing he digs up is a clump of mud, not a clam. Why isn't there anything? Maybe I'm mistaken and it wasn't a breathing hole. Don't worry, watch me. As soon as he finishes speaking, Marius suddenly bends down and plunges his hand into the sand. Yet, as he raises his hand and gleefully looks at his catch, his face suddenly falls. Going for a little grab, why did I get a piece of rock instead? It probably ran away with the tide. Looks like we're both pretty hopeless when it comes to catching seafood. Hey, there's a first time for everything. Give me more time. I guarantee it will work. Yep, let's practice some more. After some practice and cooperation, you and Marius finally gain some experience. You slowly develop a few tricks for digging up clams. Even so, all your catches are rather small, and nothing in your buckets can be considered a prize catch. As you intently look for clams along the beach, you suddenly hear a shout from Marius a while later. Shurara, Shurara, look what I found! You look up to see Marius waving excitedly at you from a short distance away and holding something in his hand. You rush over toward him, bucket in hand. You see that he's holding a massive clam. Watching you approach, he opens his palm to show off how big the clam is in comparison. Whoa, that's huge! Well, aren't I awesome? Yeah, you're awesome! How did you find it? I have a trick when it comes to catching clams. What is it? Well, I close my eyes and see your name in my head 10 times, then I open my eyes and go for the first breathing hole I see. That's how I got it. Are you being for real? Of course! Then did you also say something like, I'll do anything, even get covered in mud while you were saying my name? You smile as you point at the ends of his hair, the tip of his nose, and his elbow. He doesn't even seem to realize that he's covered in mud from head to toe. I was too focused on digging up the clam. I didn't even notice. But that's okay, you'll definitely reward me for finding such a big clam, right, Shirara? Marius looks down at himself, then raises his brows at you. It is evident what kind of reward he is asking for. Fine, fine, I'll help you clean up. With your help, Marius looks clean and fresh once again. You and Marius are motivated after finding the huge clam, so you continue working on the beach for a while longer. You only happily return to your initial location once you fill up both buckets, ready to exchange everything you found for payment. The sun is already setting when you have settled your payment. You and Marius look at the amount of money you now have and feel yourself positively brimming with joy. This is great! We earned back more than half of what we spent on the seagull. Now we can continue with our trip. I told you that we'd definitely sort out our budget problem. Yes, yes, trusting you was a good decision, but it would have been better if you hadn't dragged me down with you back there. You still remember how Marius was haggling with the old gentleman a few minutes ago. Sir, this is our first time coming to this beach. We love it so much, and it was also our first time begging for clams. Would it be okay for you to give us a bit more as a beginner's bonus? Um, we'll tell all of our friends about this place after we get back. We'll make sure they all come by and give it a try. Well, it's not impossible, but the old gentleman lowers his head and pushes up his glasses. Though his resolve is beginning to waver, he is still not giving an affirmative answer. Saying this, Marius proceeds to explain to the old gentleman the reason behind your trip and the incidents you've encountered so far that adds an extra deal on top of it. If you want, we can help you get more customers too. With someone as handsome as me and pretty as her, we'll definitely get a lot of attention. You'll be swimming in tourists ready to work for you. Marius wraps his arm around your waist as he sees this winking at you. Yeah, we'd be happy to be walking billboards for your Fisherman for a Day event. The old gentleman looks at the papers on the blackboard, then back at you too, and finally nods after a few seconds of silence. Okay, Bill, this is my first time coming across youngsters as good at cycling as you. Thank you. That's Marius for you, a natural businessman. You can't help but elbow Marius in the arm when you remember what happened. His smile only widens. That wasn't dragging you down. We said we were gonna work and get rich together, right? Alright, since we earned most of our funds back, can we get my travel plans back on schedule now? Of course, we've already spent a day doing other stuff though. Will there be enough time and money to do all the things you want to do? Well, the previous plan isn't going to work out, but I already have a brand new schedule. Just have faith in me and enjoy the trip. After safely dealing with the financial crisis, your budget trip continues on. Every novel experience and happy moment has become an unforgettable memory for you. As time flies by, you soon reach the final day of your trip. Performance viewing area. You head to the beach after finishing breakfast. You and Marius are sitting in the middle of the audience waiting for the live aquatic performance to start. The place is crowded and bustling with activity. It's evident that everyone is really looking forward to it. You look around the area full of people and pull on the hem of Marius' shirt. There are so many people here watching the performance. Is it the show really that good? Yeah, I heard this show sells out every session and everyone only has good things to say about it. Then, aren't we lucky? There were exactly 2 tickets left in the middle section when we bought them. Yeah, I honestly thought we weren't going to have enough money to buy a ticket after that first hiccup. And we happened to buy the best seats. Talk about good luck. Maybe it's a bit of unexpected luck. Before you finish, the start of a ceremonial canon attracts everyone's attention. As music begins to play, a young man in a swimsuit appears on a jet ski. He has a valiant demeanor and a confident and lively expression. The jet ski beneath him moves like a toy. The performance has begun. The 2-hour live action water show comes to a close, the assembled audience begins to disperse. However, you and Marius linger in your seats, still caught up in what you just saw. They rode on jet skis in changed costumes while doing aerial stunts. How cool! I wonder if I could manage that if I tried. Why don't we go to the Seaside aircraft rental shop later? As soon as the words spill from his mouth, Marius bites his lip and shakes his head, looking slightly hesitant. Never mind, that would cost way too much. Seeing Marius muttering to himself and shaking his head, you can't help but chuckle. That's the first time I've heard you say something too expensive. It's a little funny. It's only because of the budget constraints for this assignment. When the topics of his assignment comes up, Marius pauses unconsciously and his eyes begin to wander. About that, how do you feel about how the trip I planned this time, Shirara? I have to hand in a report about it, so your feedback is important. Perhaps it's because you're essentially grading his performance, or maybe because he's embarrassed about the limited budget causing trouble on the trip. Either way, Marius doesn't look as confident and determined as before. Thinking back on what happened over the past few days, you raise your chin in your hand and face Marius. I give this trip 5 stars. I'm really satisfied. Really? Yeah, even though there were some inevitable inconveniences since we were traveling on a budget, I had a really good time. It was special. Special? Yeah, I mean, we were unexpectedly short on funds, but we worked hard together and made some money. We'd never have that kind of experience on a normal trip. Experience that come from unexpected accidents like that are wonderful, aren't they? All signs of hesitation vanish when you meet Marius' case. I see. Oh, at this moment, his face is very close to yours. His large hand takes yours and swings it gently. Mary's touch moves up slowly, his fingertips entangling with yours. I feel the same way. Whether it's saying something true with you from the beginning to the end or creating something from scratch, it feels amazing to make something together. By the time he finishes speaking, Maris is already embracing you. You listen to his heart pounding under the scorching sun and the rustle of the sea breeze. Distantly, you hear seagulls cry out. If you already knew the answer, why did you even ask? Did you just want to be reassured? I already told you, your feedback is really important to my assignment. Although you can't see Maria's face, you can feel him smiling softly. You can't help but snuggle against his chest again, your lips curling upwards as you start to laugh. So, is there anything else for this assignment that we haven't done yet? We're going back tonight, so we shouldn't leave with any regrets. There's one more thing. What is it? I want to watch the sunset with you. Observation deck near the beach. As there is still some time before sunset, you head to a stall on the beach to buy some local snacks. After that, you find a great spot at the observation deck where you wait quietly for the sunset to arrive. Sitting comfortably on the edge of the deck, you swing your legs and enjoy the food and scenery as seagulls circle overhead. Shara, how are your sea salt and cheese sweet balls? They're delicious. Do you want to try some? Of course. Marius brings his face closer, opens his mouth, and motions for you to feed him. You stab one of the squid balls with your skewer, blow on it, and carefully bring it to his mouth. Hmm. Marius' cheeks bulge as the squid ball enters his mouth. Seconds later, the squid ball is completely devoured. Yum! It's so rich and delicious. I'm sure it tastes the same as the others. No way, it's different. How about I feed you this time? You'll see the difference for yourself when you taste mine. Yeah, well, let me try it and see what the difference is. Time passes as you exchange legs, and soon enough the sun begins to set. The colors of the mountains in the distance bleed with those of the sunset and the sky, giving rise to a romantic ambience. Look, Marius, the sun's setting. Yeah, caught up in the excitement of watching the setting sun, you fail to notice Marius' movements. We should take a photo together when the sun sinks beneath the waves. Huh? You turn to ask Marius what he thinks, only to find that he is pointing his cell phone at you. You You caught me. Although Marius sees that his tone is unexpectedly gentle. Originally, I wanted to secretly record you watching the sunset. If you want to record me, just let me know beforehand so I can prepare myself. No way, I just want to record the truest version of you, and I'm already recording. Marius! You stretch out your hand to punch him, but he merely opened his arms and accepted the blow, wrapping his arm around your waist and holding you close in his embrace. In the distance, the glow coming from the horizon transformed into a dreamscape, and the sun gradually sinks closer and closer to the sea. As the sunset little by little, the surface of the water grows increasingly golden, and the image of Marius with his arms around you remains visible in the lens. Dreamlike colors wash over you, dyeing your hair beautiful shades of gold, purple, and many other mysterious hues.
내가 기록하고 싶은 건 누나랑 노을을 바라보는 이 몇 분이에요.
Through the lens, you see Marius' eyes turning a romantic color under the light. Seemingly noticing your gaze, Marius lowers his hand to look at you, then smiles at the camera.
봐요. 우리가 달라졌어요.
Change? How?
우리 머리카락이 태양빛으로 물들어서 진짜 예뻐요.
The sun. At that moment, the boundary between the sky and sea blurs, blending together in the warm colors of the sun. The ordinary and routine scenery of the sun setting suddenly turns into something extraordinary. Is this place renowned for its view of the sunset or something? You know, so famous that you had to come see it with me?
아니요. 별로 안 유명해요.
He smiles, embracing you even tighter than before.
그냥 우리 여행의 끝이 따뜻하고 행복하고 낭만적이었으면 좋겠어요. 저물어가는 햇빛에 비친 우리 모습이 행복에 젖어든 것 같아요.
The rays of sunlight dance above you and Marius as if responding to his words. So, since you're both in happiness now, do you have any more wishes? Marius' eyes widen slightly, open hearing your question, as if the brilliance at the end of the earth has scattered into his irises. His lips part ever so slightly, seemingly wanting to reveal some secret.
소원 별거 없어요. 예상치 못한 상황이든 모험이든 또 순조로운 항해든 우여곡절이든 앞으로 모든 걸 누나랑 함께하고 싶어요.
Reflected in the camera lens, Marius looks at you, his hair and yours dangling in the sea breeze. He has laid his secret out in plain sight, but right before your eyes. You can't help but lean closer into Marius' chest, looking at the splendor in the distance and listening to your synchronized heartbeats. So, do you think we'll encounter accidents again next time we go on a trip? Will we encounter more problems in the future?
인생은 길어요. 같이 걷다 보면 알게 되겠죠.
Sure. The sun is setting, but its light is dazzling. Marius immediately presses the stop button, and the video stops at the scene just now. Let me see. You reach for his phone to see what the recording looks like. However, Marius calmly raises his phone higher with a mischievous grin on his face. I'll show it to you if you can get the phone. Not to be outdone, you wrap your arms around his neck, stand on your tiptoes, and try to reach up. Only to be startled as a gentle kiss lands on your cheek in the next second, just as you hear the sound of the shutter. finally got the picture I wanted. This time, Marius finally hands you the phone. The picture on the screen is the image of a stolen kiss. Okay, so after secretly recording a video of me without any warning, you've gone and done it again? Photos like this are way more true to life. By the way, I have one more thing to tell you, miss. What is it? Mary smiles slyly and leans into your ear. The truth is, for this assignment, in addition to planning a trip within a given budget, I was supposed to record everything that made me happy during the trip. I think I'll definitely get full marks for this assignment. Who would have thought that you'd encounter another unexpected surprise at the end of this journey? As you and Marius play around, the wave carry your laughter further out. The sun is about to sink below the waves, and the warmth of the glow gradually fades into the dark blue of the stellar dome above. Night falls, and the stars and moon rise, announcing the end of the day. With him at your side, you look forward to the future to come. Sarah, you've been working for so long. Are you tired? Do you want to come out and relax with me during the lunch break? I guarantee you like what I have planned. It's not every day you recommend something so emphatically. Do you want to tell me what it is? Well, there's a conch experience room that opened up in the city. It's currently only available to VIPs. I heard their conch music can reduce stress and help with sleep. I happen to have two VIP tickets, so I'd like to take you there to try it out. A conch music experience room, is it what I think it is? Do they use conches as instruments to make music? Yep, you're right on the money. But on top of that, added high time modifications to elongate the conch musics, making them just right for the human ear. What do you say? Want to try it? Yep, I'm already excited. Why don't you send the address to me and we can meet up there? As a considerate gentleman, why would I let you go on your own? I'm already waiting for you downstairs. We can set off as soon as you're ready. So you had this all planned out. I'll start packing up. Okay, see you in a bit. Marius, I need your help. Miss, you're finally awake. I just finished a meeting. What's wrong? My headband is missing. It's the one I used to push my hair back up when I wash my face. I bought it when we were at the beach. It looks like a little crab. Did you see it when you got up in the morning? Let me think. I don't think so. I remember seeing some of your skincare products next to the sink, but not a headband. Hi, I'll go off, Mr. Wei. I wonder whether they might have seen it while cleaning. Don't worry, we'll find it. You usually put your backup bathroom products in there. You can try checking there first, but just in case you don't find it, I'll buy a new one for you on my way back from work. Here, it's always good to be prepared. I'm counting on you. No worries, it's no problem. By the way, what color and style do you want your new headband? That's a tough question. I haven't decided. Just pick whichever you like. In that case, I need to pick out something good. Just letting you know in advance, you're not allowed to buy something weird to mess with me. No way! I'm just wondering if I should take the chance to buy one for myself as well. I could pick out a matching couple set. Just imagining us standing in front of the mirror with matching headbands is pretty funny. Okay then, I'll see you at home later.